My name is Gabriel Singer. I'm a Project Rebound Student Ambassador at San Francisco State University. I was arrested for murder. I was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter, and so I was sentenced to 21 years in state prison. So the space we're in right now is the art gallery at San Francisco State University. And right now is a show called Our Lives is Stronger Than Your Walls. And it's a look at three couples that met prior to their incarceration, found love during their incarceration, and are still going strong today. Some of them are released and some are still incarcerated. And it's just kind of a display of how one, supports each other while their loved ones is incarcerated. What does that look like with gifts and letters and cards? And then also on top of that, what are all the barriers that someone who is supporting someone who is incarcerated goes through? Yeah, so a little bit about my experience in my incarceration. It was a long time. I spent 16 years in CDCR. I was arrested for murder. I was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter as an aider and abetter, not as the person that actually committed the crime. So my experiences while incarcerated was, the first 5 years I was pretty much on lockdown. 23-1, I was in the whole ADSEG. I was in LA County Jail. I went to Calpat, which was a hard transition at first, but as we all know, you figure it out and you kind of learn as you go. And I'd say there's some positive and negative experiences. One of the experiences I focus on the most, which is why I had an art show about it, is my relationship with my wife. I think that experience is what helped me really find myself, as well as give purpose to take advantage of the rehabilitative courses and programs in CDCR, especially education. It was really the connection that we had and the support she gave me through that hard time, and actually a little bit of a scary and unknown time in a sense. Her visitations, her letters, answering the phones, allow me to have space to kind of grow and question what led me to my incarceration and how I can better myself while I'm incarcerated, and what would life look like upon release. Art during my incarceration, they played many different roles. One, it was allowed me to escape from the situation I was in. Two, it helped me process from the situation I was in. And three, it really helped me make connections with other people. So I'd send people drawings that are out in the street. I'd send drawings to my parents. I'd send drawings to now my wife, Katie. And it really allowed me to even also have a small hustle, even though I didn't have much. So I'd do cards and sell some of the different people that are incarcerated. And it really allowed me to have a more of a support network, as well as a way to process and escape from my situation I was in. How my art helped me pass the time while I was incarcerated, and what I learned from my art when I was incarcerated was, especially in the first 5 years of my incarceration, I had to process what I was going through in a sense. I was removed from society. I was put in an 8x11 cell, 23 hours a day, one hour for shower or a little bit of yard. What was I gonna do with my day if you're just locked in a cell? And so you can only work out so much, you can only read so much. So really being able to be with myself and imagine what was on the outside, or old things that happened in my past, or just different things that would cross my mind, was able to be expressed through when I drew, or when I sketched, or shaded something, or was focusing on something different besides my actual current situation. My transition from prison to the real world, or to what we know as normal society, I think is gonna be a long-term process. So I've been out for a little over 20 months now, and I think as I reintegrate more and more into society, I shed a little bit of what the impact of incarceration was. But at the same time, I still see things popping up in my life that stems from my incarceration and trauma. So even though the time frame distance is there, I think it's going to be a lot longer to heal and move past all the experiences I had during my incarceration. So I'm a major in criminal justice with a criminal justice reentry minor, as well as a minor in juvenile justice. And I recently was accepted for grad school in international relations. My goals after school will be to really promote restorative justice and practices in education. And so my main focus is to try to have more colleges and more educational institutions teach about restorative practices so people really get a good understanding of it and not have so much disillusion about what it truly is. Restorative justice has been popularized in recent decades as a respectful and humane alternative to state-sanctioned and retributive incarceration. Abolitionists and reformists alike have praised this model of reactivity, addressing harm, as a way of challenging the monopoly of the state on the concepts of accountability and justice. Restorative justice sets important goals for its process, which centers on the victim and an offender moving beyond the tragic situation.
Until we have more opportunities to actually come together and heal one another, it's gonna seem like it's gonna be insurmountable. I'm remembering when I was in GRIP and how victims came and they told us their story. And the stories took root because not only were they comfortable sitting with us, they were comfortable being with us, being themselves, whether it's being their authentic self. And so we got to see the type of humans that we heard. And in that process, they weren't standoffish. They were like, I love you. And we couldn't help but love them back. And that's what gave us hope and said, you know what? Maybe there is something to this, to this restorative process,
We can't change everybody. I would love to, but if I can be the person that accepts people for who they are, helps people heal, creates less harm and more positivity, then I think I'm doing my role and giving back to the community that I've hurt. So learn from this. Learn that we've made some terrible mistakes in life, but we spent a lot of years with that, developing insight of what led us there, learning about emotional regulation, and as well as spending the rest of our lives trying to repair the harm that we created.